You can't start this second half any worse. Twins drop back-to-back versus the worst team in the MLB. Game 2 in Colorado tonight. Final score 10-6. We got a full deep dive coming up next on the Minnesota Twins postcast.
This is the Twins postcast. Your instant game reaction for the Minnesota Twins. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's going on back in the lab? Back at it. Another Minnesota Twins postcast right here. Locked On Sports Minnesota Network. Your team every day. Luke Inman at Luke_Spinman. Sweet Lou Hennessy. Give him a follow on X at Sweet Lou MN Twins Expert over at Zone Coverage MN. Lou, I asked Theo this last night. I just want your quick 2 cents, even though it feels like an eternity ago now, but All-Star Week, Byron Buxton's moment, under the sun, under the spotlight, got some flowers at the Derby, the game itself too, your highlights, lowlights. What did you just make of the 2025 All-Star break, just in general?
Oh my God. Thank you so much for asking me about anything except for tonight's game. But no, the All-Star game, I thought it was pretty fun. Byron Buxton, like we said, he got to show off his speed with that 9th inning double. Joe Ryan was pumping 97, got 2 Ks. I was really happy that he was able to have that national spotlight and really shine in it. So that was really good. And it's making me feel so good that I'm going to call tonight's game a cheery victory a cheery effort against a juggernaut team in the Colorado Rockies.
I feel like I'm in a Black Mirror episode, Twilight Zone episode or something. Lots to get into. Zebby Matthews, tough night tonight. Biggest turning point plus what we'll be talking about. But first, quick reminder, tonight's episode brought to us by Game Time. Game Time, download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Quick little recap if you missed it. No way they can lose 2 in a row to the worst team in baseball, right? Twins strike first, top second, 3 runs scored. You're up 3-0. Cody Clemens, Correa, Wallner, all with RBIs. And then just this onslaught of offense by the Rockies. 2nd inning, 3rd inning, 5th inning, 6th inning, 8th inning, just relentless all game. Zebby Matthews took the worst of it. 8 hits, 5 earned runs. 10-6, that's your final. 47-51 now, 4 games below 500 again. Start with your biggest, top 2, top 3 takeaways, kind of your A topics. What stuck out the most today?
What stuck out was certainly the sleepy offense. They just looked so turned around. I don't think that the final score really told how putrid this offense was tonight. Just countless guys that are kind of supposed to be cornerstones of this offense just looked totally backwards, totally lost, terrible at-bats of chasing things out of the zone. Antonio Senzatella on the Colorado Rockies has had probably the worst year of any starting pitcher this year for the worst team, and he diced them up inning after inning, and he went 7 strong in what was clearly his best start of the season. Like you said, not where you want this offense to be jumping into some pivotal games here in the next couple weeks as they try to decide which route they go down for the trade deadline here. Signs are not looking good if they get this sort of effort going forward.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
You mentioned the offense was just sleepy. They got sliced and diced by a guy they should not have gotten sliced and diced by. But when was the specific moment? Because you're up 3-0 in the second. When was that kind of biggest turning point tonight? When was it and why? Lay it on us.
So the turning point, I got to go with the 3-run home run to make it a 6-3 game. Zebby Matthews left in the 5th inning after allowing 2 guys on some pretty bad contacts. Some not he wasn't getting crushed by any means. I thought this was an overall pretty encouraging return for him from the injured list, despite the 5 earned runs, of course. But his fastball was looking good. He was unexpectedly throwing a little harder than I think many were expecting. At Coors Field, breaking pitches do some really weird stuff. So I think he made 2 bad pitches tonight and got really punished for them, and then came out of the game. And Justin Topa, who's been he's been struggling over the last couple months, and he was unfortunately taken deep there.
Plenty more deep dive. Go ahead.
Sorry, I think it was Stewart. My mistake.
I think it was Stewart. Yeah, nonetheless. Plenty more deep dive, including nerdy stat of the day, plus what we'll be talking about, and that's all coming up right after this. Quick reminder, tonight's episode brought to us by FanDuel. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook and official sportsbook partner of the MLB. Right now, FanDuel's giving you a chance at a huge return. $150 in bonus bets guaranteed when you win your first $5 wager. Why I love FanDuel, when you get the hunch in the middle of a game, you can go check out the latest stats. You can view live play-by-play and so much more, all on the same page where you place your bets. Again, $150 in bonus bets guaranteed when you win your first $5 bet. Go check it all out over at FanDuel.com. Get on some MLB future action while you're there. Twins plus 690 right now to win the AL Central. All sitting up over at FanDuel.com. Again, check it all out over at FanDuel.com and get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed when you win your first $5 wager. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, an official sportsbook partner of the MLB. Nerdy stat of the daytime. Any crazy stat, any crazy analytic, could be from tonight, last night, first half of the season, you name it. What do you got tonight?
So I heard this close to the beginning of tonight's broadcast on the radio broadcast, actually. Chris Atterbury brought this up, and it actually became pretty relevant. The Twins, in their wins, are batting .345 with runners in scoring position. That's pretty good. In their losses, they're batting just .152 with runners in scoring position. So it just shows when the offense is like it is tonight and they just can't nail anything down, even when they set themselves up. Yeah, they're headed for certain doom. It seems like. So it's not a fun nerdy stat by any means, but it's just so crazy how different things can look from win to loss for teams like the Minnesota Twins.
What a stark contrast. My goodness. Yeah. You think there'd be a little bit more happy medium in there somewhere. 250, 268, somewhere in the 222. What a drop off though from wins to losses. And obviously if you're losing, that means you're probably not hitting very well. So I guess in a sense that does make a little bit of logic there, but nonetheless, that is again, just a stark contrast. And again, if you've watched the Twins at all this year, you know exactly what Sweet Lou's talking about right there. Let's get into what we'll be talking about right after this.
This is what you'll be talking about.
So let's just look at this 5D here, the aerial 10,000 foot view, officially, obviously, in the second half of the season now. Where are we at? Who are the Minnesota Twins right now? Because for me, I was talking to you before the show, right? It's tough to take this team seriously if you can't go at minimum, go take 2 or 3 versus the worst team in baseball, but by a wide margin, mind you. But on the other hand, it just feels like, Lou, this is a typical Minnesota Twins or Minnesota sports even thing. Like they're going to lose some games they just have no business losing, and then watch them go to LA or maybe it's Boston or Detroit, whatever it may be, and go win a handful of games they probably shouldn't win either. So neither really surprised me at this point. Now, preserve the moment, obviously kind of down in the dumps after losing 2 in a row to the Rockies.
Yeah, no, how about this? Let's start here because it's hard to say anything positive when we've seen these last 2 games against a terrible Colorado Rockies team. Wherever the Twins are at, whether that's an average team that's unlucky or a truly bad team, wherever they are on that scale for you, they're looking down right now. So we're going to get that off the bat. Things are not great right now. It's so tricky to nail down where this team is because for good long chunks of the season, they've been pretty bad, especially when it comes to the offensive side of the ball. But there's been flashes of 3-4 weeks at a time where they've been pretty good as well. So it's kind of like you'd like to think they're somewhere in the middle, but it's just so hard to nail down because every new series, it seems like they're either going to be top dog or way at the bottom. So it's just so hard to peg down for them.
Well, let me ask you this, because I agree. It is hard, especially when we're taking this thing one game at a time, such small little sample sizes. But let me ask you this. How many more bad games or bad series do you need to see to start hitting the sell button at the deadline? Start hitting the panic button, whatever button you got over there that isn't good. How many more bad games like this do you need to see?
Boy, you got to think they're having conversations about what's going to go down. Smart ball clubs will listen on everybody, no matter where they're at in the standings. They'll have conversations about ways that they can improve. I heard a recent interview with Thad Levine. He was on Gleeman and the Geek. He had a great point that teams have to decide whether they're looking, when it comes to this time of year, they need to evaluate whether they're trying to make themselves better for this season or for in future seasons. And it's not to say that every team needs to go fire sale or bust. Sometimes when you look ahead to future seasons, it might be keeping some of these, pieces intact here and riding it out in a lost season so that they can improve next year. I'm not sure that's where they go with this one. I think that they're going going to get calls on some really valuable guys that would really, it would be painful to see them go. But at the same time, like I said, smart ball clubs are going to listen on everybody.
I'm just up on X right now, and you can check this out yourself here at Sleeper MLB Twins. So this is like a fantasy baseball site. It's what I use my dynasty, fantasy football site through Sleeper, right? But this is Twins specific. They got a couple mock trades up here for Joe Ryan, right? And obviously Joe Ryan seems to be like kind of the atopic guy, kind of the hot ticket item. I feel like going to the All-Star game, young. Obviously, everybody's always looking for pitchers. You tell me, because I just don't know some of these prospects, and maybe you won't either. But here's number one. Here's number one at the top. Yankees receive Joe Ryan. The Twins receive righty Will Warren. Their number 2 overall prospect, outfielder Spencer Jones, and their number 8 overall prospect, a lefty, Brock Selvage. Now, to me, and this is just one of these, but to me, you're getting a team like the Yankees, number 2 and number 8 overall prospects. Probably not going to do much this year when it comes to the playoffs anyways. We all love Joe Ryan, but we just talked about how sluggish the offense has been. Getting a guy like Spencer Jones, who's like, by the way, like 6'7", 240. I just feel like that's enticing, man. I just feel like it's enticing. That's all.
I've seen far worse trade proposals for Joe Ryan, that's for sure. It's one I still don't know if I would want the Twins to touch. I think that a lot of fans would see Joe Ryan going to the Yankees and collapse onto themselves like a dying star because of just seeing.
So it's more of a Yankee thing? Is it more of a Yankee thing?
It could be.
Yeah,
it could be too that Joe Ryan is a huge success story. He's got 2 more years of team control. They really like him. Now that he's made an all-star team, I think that does mean something to them. I think that they might try to build around him rather than sell him off purely to the highest bidder. That said, if they do get a package that they absolutely love, I think it would behoove them to make that call. But I don't think it's going to be a term in terms of just finding the highest bidder, because this is the time that they want to sell. I think they need the deal that they want.
Let me give you one more just because these are fun. Cubs. Let's go National League. Cubs, right? Don't got to see them more than maybe once a year. Twins receive the Cubs' number 1 prospect, outfielder Owen Cassie. Their number 2 prospect, catcher / first baseman Moises Ballesteros, and then a righty, their number 5 overall prospect, Jackson Wiggins. That just feels like a king's ransom. I don't know how realistic these are. That feels like I would do it for 2 of those top 5. I feel like you tell me. I don't know.
No, that's a lot. Like you said, both these trades honestly are a lot better than some of the slop that I've seen on X for Joe Ryan trade proposals. That's
probably somewhere in the middle then. From
what
you've seen and what I'm reading off right now. Yeah.
Chances are I don't see the Cubs making that move, first of all. I think that if they were going to dangle those kind of prospects, not that Joe Ryan isn't high enough, but I think that that's like ace caliber trade package. I think that's a really good trade package. I think it'd be interesting for the Twins to get some calls like that and see what they could get. But like I said, I don't think that they're just going to auction them off to the highest bidder.
Yeah, no, makes total sense to me. Plenty more deep dive preview of Game 3. Speaking of Joe Ryan on the mound for that one, that's all coming up right after this. Quick reminder, tonight's episode also brought to us by Prize Picks. Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app, now with more than 10 million members to date. For me and my money, it's the easiest, most exciting way to get in on all the action while you watch your favorite sports and you watch your favorite players. So simple, too. All you got to do, you pick more or less on 2 or more player stats. You watch the winnings roll in. Strikeouts, RBIs, home runs, stolen bases, base hits, you name it, they got it. Take your pick on more or less. Add them to your Prize Picks entry today. Plus, they now offer Apple Pay, quick and easy deposits into your account all season long. Download the Prize Picks app. Use code LOCKEDONMLB for $50 instantly with any $5 wager. So what's the new goal on this road trip now? Game 3 tomorrow and then 3 with the Dodgers. I guess you would be thrilled to go split this road trip at this point, meaning you got to take Game 3 tomorrow and then take 2 of 3 in LA. And I guess part 2, just real quick, Game 3 tomorrow specifically, Joe Ryan on the mound. Who's got to step up the most here? And where does the frustration levels reach, I guess, if they can't go win this one, Game 3 tomorrow with their ace, Joe Ryan on the mound?
That's going to be a very tough pill to swallow, to come out of the break and be swept by the worst team in baseball with your ace on the mound in a very hitter-friendly ballpark.
Yeah,
that's going to be really tough. That's going to be a really tough challenge. Hopefully they can avoid it, and Joe Ryan can pitch a dandy, keep it in the ballpark himself. I think the most heat is going to be on the left-handed Twins hitters. They're going against German Marquez, who's got an ERA north of 5. We need Brooks Lee, Matt Wallner, Trevor Larnach to truly show up and really propel this team forward.
Royce Lewis?
Royce Lewis, where's he been? It's tricky. I can see him getting a start tomorrow. Yeah, we would love to see him get more comfortable at the plate, but at this point, I'm not sure if you have a lot of faith that he can do that in short order. I think that's going to be a long project for him, unfortunately. Could be wrong. Who knows? Sometimes it really just clicks for guys, but based on what we've seen, I think it's going to be really hard to count on that. But guys like I said, Brooks Lee, Matt Wallner, Trevor Larnach, let's see them keep going. Let's see Byron Buxton continue his excellent campaign, and Carlos Correa quietly raising that OPS too.
Twins start the second half, back-to-back losses versus the worst team in baseball, the Colorado Rockies. 10-6, that's your final tonight. 47-51, 4 games below 500 now. Huge shout-out to all you guys, all the everydayers out there that always make us your first listen. All you guys coming in the chat with us from game to game, make sure you like and subscribe. Check out all of Lou's work on X at SweetLouMN, plus all the work he's always ripping up over at ZoneCoverageMN.com as well. Luke Inman on X at Luke_Spinman. Again, back here for game 3 tomorrow. Joe Ryan on the mound, 2:10 first pitch. We'll catch you right here. Same time, same place. Until then, signing out.